Today's a good day. We have our special guest, Theresa Coleman, and she is an emergency room administrator. So this is great for us because she's actually live right now in the emergency room. So there's a great opportunity to kind of see the lenses through Theresa and what it's like every day for our frontline people who are out there risking their lives. And I'm looking forward to this. So Serrina, please take it away.
All right, so we're gonna get Theresa on now. First and foremost, let me just say to all of our first responders, let me say from the bottom of my heart, thank you, because you put food on our tables, and you made sure that we were safe and as healthy as possible. And so we want to say thank you for risking yourselves, because every day it's been a risk. So Theresa, first, welcome to the webinar, but let me say from all of us, thank you.
Thank you, Theresa.
Thank you for having me.
So Theresa, let's talk a little bit about how long have you been in working at the hospital settings? How long have you been doing this work?
Over 25 years.
Okay, so in 25 years, have you ever seen anything remotely like this before?
No, never.
Yeah. So my question too is, I just want to take you back to the beginning of this. What did it look like that first day going back into the hospital once all of this hit, all of the adjustments? What did that first day feel like, and what did that first day look like walking through the doors of that hospital?
The first day walking through the emergency room was like a movie. It just was like a movie scene.
Wow.
It was just overwhelming. It was something I've never seen in my life. Never.
Mm-hmm. And so what did you see?
So it's like it was just vented patients on vents everywhere.
Wow.
Whereas in the emergency room, you will have maybe one or two. We had like 22.
Wow.
So it just was the machines, the beeping. It just was something that no one wants to ever see.
Right. And what would have been some of the, because I don't think people are talking as much about the mental health aspect of the COVID-19. Like we're talking a lot about, we protect ourselves with PPE, right? But what kind of protective equipment do we have for our minds? Like for our first responders, that had to really affect you psychologically. What impact has that had on you?
It has a big impact, because I remember one day I went home and I was like, okay, I'm not going back. This is it. I'm going to find something else to do. I can't do this no more. So it does impact you, and then like sometimes when I go to sleep, I can hear the beeping.
Wow.
So it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with every day.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're at a good place.
Okay. Explain why you say you're at a good place.
Because the emergency room don't have COVID patients in the emergency room like we had before. So
Okay.
there's no vents. They're just regular patients now.
Mm-hmm.
That's not on the vent. Not to say that they're not COVID patients, but they're not on the vent, which is much better. So you don't have all of the beeping and the machines and the equipment.
Mm-hmm. So has the emergency room like restructured things? Have they had to restructure things so that they could accommodate the COVID-19 patients? What have you
Yes.
had to do there?
Yes, we restructured it. So now we have one side for just like non-COVID patients.
Mm-hmm.
So if you come to the hospital now, and you have a toothache or something like that, and you come in the emergency room, you will follow a line on the floor, which is non-COVID. If it's a COVID patient, then you go to the COVID unit, which is on the other side of the emergency room.
Okay. At what point are they doing any of the testing? What point does the testing take place to determine who's COVID-19 or who's not COVID-19?
When the patients come in, if they come in, let's say they had a heart attack and they're going to be admitted. So when they're going to be admitted, they have to have a COVID test. It's just automatic. And then that's
Okay.
how they, because you can't send them upstairs to a non-COVID unit because now everyone up there will be infected. So you have to test everyone, and then you know where to send them when they go upstairs.
Wow. So do they have the units like subgroups of the units? So you got a COVID-19 unit, and then the subgroup of the COVID-19 unit, would that be for cardiac patients? Would that be for people who had a broken limb? I mean, does it then subdivide, or
Yes.
is it just one big unit? What does that look like?
No, it's one floor for COVID, and then all the other ailments are on different floors. So orthopedics would be on 2, and they won't put them
Ah,
together. But if you
got you.
tested positive, you would go to the COVID floor, and they will tend to do, because they have to wear PPE and all of that to assist you.
Right,
But on the
right,
regular
right.
floor, we only wearing surgical masks.
Right. So I was looking at some statistics today, and the statistics for the United States for confirmed cases right now today was like 1,372,855, and the confirmed deaths in the United States is 82,548. Right? I got that statistics today from our governor. So my question to you is, do you see that in the emergency room, is there a decline in the amount of, is there a decline in the amount of confirmed positive cases? And do you find that there's a decline in the amount of deaths as a result of COVID-19?
In the emergency room is a decline in deaths as far as COVID-19.
Okay.
The testing would not take place too much in the emergency room. So I can't
Okay.
comment on that.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, I think that people are starting to feel really comfortable and a little lax with wearing PPE right now. People are starting to go outside without masks, and you have the police department who's trying to enforce social distancing. Is it over yet? My question is it over yet?
The answer is no, it is not over yet. It's a must to wear PPE. It's a must. I mean, as much as I want to go out too, we can't at this time. We cannot. You have to keep it on. You have to do your distancing, and you have to wear face shields, because when you're talking to people and they people spit when they talk.
Right.
That there is a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's a must. You have to wear it.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the concerns, is that now that the weather is getting nice, people want to go outside. They want to hang out. They're forgetting that this pandemic is not over. And not only, I'm assuming that, it's not only for safety reasons for themselves, right? But it's for people who are asymptomatic, who go home and then they take the coronavirus home to the grandmother, or they take it home to someone who already has some underlying conditions. Am I correct?
Yes, you are correct. Because working in a hospital, you can be negative. You can be positive, and then you go home and your family's negative because they didn't go anywhere. Now they're
Right.
infected. So if you just continue to wear the PPE, you'll be protected. Everyone, your
Right.
family. A lot of people still riding the buses and the trains. You have to.
Yeah.
And I know I'm paranoid because I wear it. I mean, I don't want to touch the doors. We have to wear the surgical mask in the building with non-patients. If I go into the emergency room, I have to wear an N95 and a PPE. And it's difficult
Wow.
for me to breathe because it's close up to your face, but I have to
Right.
do it. I have to.
Right.
Not
Right.
only for me, I have to do it for my family. I have to do it for the people that I'm going to come in contact with.
Yeah.
It's
So I
it's
see now.
important.
What mask are you wearing now? Because
I
what
have
mask are you wearing?
I have on a regular surgical mask, but the Navy came in today and they gave us colored masks. So I try to be a little fancy today.
Okay. But if you were going into the emergency room area, you would have to change that mask. So you would have to add to that mask for additional safety for yourself and for those involved. Am I correct?
I would take off the little decorative one and I would just put on an N95 and a surgical mask. Always put the N95 to your face and a surgical mask on top of it. And the decorative one, it'll go to the wayside. I don't need it.
Right.
Hey, Theresa, I just want to jump in there really quick, Serena. For those that don't have proper PPE, what advice can you give them as far as, you know, making a makeshift one, perhaps, for those that don't have access to masks currently?
They use handkerchiefs, or you can use a cotton T-shirt. And we tell the patients who always come for masks, they can Google it. It's real simple. Everything you have is in your house. It is in your house to make a mask.
Yeah. Now,
So
I also heard
basically-
something. Go ahead, Michael.
So basically, there's no excuse not to leave your house
No.
without any type of, right? Okay.
No.
Thank you, Theresa.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
Theresa, I remember something about if you can blow out a candle with your mask
Yes.
on or something. Okay, so could you just kind of go to
So
that?
when you make a mask, or even if when they give you a mask, or someone give you a mask and you want to know if it really works, you take a candle and you blow, and if you can blow out the candle, the mask is no good because it's no air to come out of the mask.
Ah, okay.
That's for the cotton
See?
ones that you make in your house, because when you do the cotton ones with the T-shirt, they tell you to fold it twice. So, you know,
Okay.
fold it twice and then put the candle, and if you can blow through it and it blows out the candle, it's not protecting you, it's just for decorations.
Wow, that's good to know. See, did you know that, Michael? See, she told me that.
I did not know that. So,
For the information.
well, you know,
Thank you, Theresa, for that
you know,
information.
unfortunately, I just ran out of candles at home, so would have to figure this out.
But if you
You're gonna have to figure that out.
even if you have a match, if you blow the match out through the candle, it's still no good. Yeah.
Okay. No, thank you for sharing that.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Theresa, is there something that you would like to say to our viewers? Anything, any comments that you like to make sure that they get the message on?
Social distancing is very important. It's very important, and it's a must right now. I mean, you know, you have to do it. My opinion is the faster that you do it is the faster we'll get out of this. You know, they're planning a second wave. At the rate that we're going now, and no one seems to obey what's being enforced, the second wave will definitely come and hit us harder. We don't want anything to hit us harder than what we just left, because it was horrible. When I say horrible,
Yeah.
it was horrible. Like your loved ones are dying and you can't even visit them. You know, you're alone. You're being admitted and you're alone. So if you keep that in mind, you could I could social distance. I could stay away from you for a minute until we get past this.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, yeah.
And that's over 82,548 U.S. deaths. That's a lot of loved ones that's been gone. And if we could do something about that, we could all do our part.
Absolutely.
Right? We could all do our part. Theresa, I want to thank you for taking the time. I know you're in the emergency room right now, so you took your time to come on. I'm sure that our viewers will agree that we are very grateful for your hard work, your long days, and your own separation from your family, and we thank you for that. I know that there have been some people who have been contributors to the first responders. Have there been any ones that's outstanding in your mind that have made some contributions to you guys?
Yes, everyone, because we get everything, like everything. But AT&T was excellent. Lancome, it's a mom and pop deli, and I think they're in Manhattan. I don't remember their name, but excellent. Like, they call every day. I'm like, it's just overwhelming.
That's great.
Overwhelming. You know,
Yeah.
doctor shows, they try to make our feet right. They do.
Well, you've had long days. You've had 10 and 12-hour days.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've had long days, 10 and 12-hour days, and so we thank you for that.
Yes,
Thanks
thank you,
for-
Teresa.
Thanks for taking the
Thank
time
you.
to come on today. Is
Thank you
anything
for
you want to
having
say,
me.
Michael?
No, thank you for coming on. I mean, listen, for taking the time out to really keep us aware of what's happening from the ground. You know, we really appreciate it. You know, we see a lot on the television, on the news, and from the announcements. But you know, actually hearing from somebody on the ground it's incredible. So thank you for taking the time and really keeping us aware and abreast on what's happening as you're out there. So thank you so much, Teresa. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And last thing I'd like to say to all of my viewers is this wonderful, courageous woman happens to be my sister. And so I know you guys wouldn't know that my sister spent over 25 years in healthcare, and I've spent over 25 years in workforce development, and we both have never seen anything like this before. And we've had to social distance, and we've adhered to that. And that's my relative. So before I ask you to do something, we're asking you to do something that we ourselves are doing. So we want everyone to be safe and be well. And remember that social distancing should never, ever equal emotional distancing. Thank you.
Thank
Correct.
you.
Thank you. All right. So once again, before we go, I just want to make sure that everybody that were on today's webinar, you're going to receive an email with a one-pager with all of the information that we have shared, and then some of how to navigate through resources available for you at a local, state, and government level. The emails that you'll see on this one-pager, please take advantage of them. OBTjobs at obt.org. Oh, I'm sorry, OBT jobs at obtjobs.org. Just shoot an email there. You'll get somebody to return that email to you within 24 hours. And you know, we're definitely here for you, as Serrina mentioned earlier. And look out for next week's event.
Yeah, we'll see you next Wednesday, same time, same place. All right, everybody, be safe, be well.